Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk roundup special. I did want to do this yesterday, the day before, but life and work and everything gets in the way. But we're here now anyway, and we've got some news of a troubled England star who has flattered to deceive at one or two clubs. But could Unai Emery be the player to rescue him? A potential Leon Bailey replacement, and then two players who've been linked with Aston Villa over the last year or two, potentially back on the radar, as well as some Ollie Watkins news. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We've gone past 5,700 subscribers. So almost at the big 6K. You can help us get there by hitting that like button, hit the subscribe button, and get your comments in below, your thoughts on these latest players to be linked in and potentially out of Aston Villa. So let's get into it. Jadon Sancho is another player who has potentially been linked with Aston Villa, with Unai Emery, to potentially resurrect his career. Now, had a bit of a in and out time at Chelsea last season, one or two flashes of brilliance and one or two other moments where he didn't really perform, and 31 appearances, 3 goals in the Premier League. But he does have 23 caps for England, scoring 3 goals, and had a couple of really good spells at Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he is officially a Manchester United player, and Chelsea actually paid £5 million for Manchester United to take him back. So they obviously don't want to sign him. He doesn't really want to play for Manchester United. Ruben Amorim, I don't think, sees a future for him. So his future lies elsewhere. Could it be at Aston Villa? I'm not a huge Jadon Sancho fan. I think he's a massive confidence player. He has real ability, but he's more like a highlights reel player for me, and does have moments of brilliance, but too often doesn't get involved in the game enough. That being said, could he come in and thrive under an Unai Emery, thrive under some coaching, thrive under some guidance? We've seen players, we've talked about it on this show, of players who've not really performed elsewhere, who've been at a bit of a crossroads in their career, and then through that guidance, through that specific coaching and the specific guidelines that Unai Emery places on players, they can really flourish, and then they can get their confidence back to perform. And could Jadon Sancho be that type of player? He's still young. He's still got a lot of time left in terms of his career. And could Aston Villa be that club for him? We saw Marcus Rashford leave Manchester United and come into Aston Villa and, hit the ground running and really sort of play again with a smile on his face. And that deal isn't dead yet with Marcus Rashford. So could Jadon Sancho be that player? We know he's got the skill set. We know he can beat a man. We know he can create something out of nothing. He just needs to maybe be a bit more confident in himself. I've talked about, him running around with his sleeves around his hands, and if you see that body language on a player coming onto the pitch or playing in the game, that as a fullback or as a defensive team or opposition team, that player doesn't want to play, doesn't fancy it. So getting that mindset into him to be confident, to believe in his ability, and that could be the key to unlocking Jadon Sancho's potential. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on Sancho. Could you see him at Aston Villa? Now, we see another wide player linked with Aston Villa, and that is Gini Katamo of Sporting Lisbon. Now, he is a Mozambique international, having played 33 times for Mozambique, scoring 10 goals. He's been at Sporting since 2021, broken into the team probably over the last couple of years, appeared 58 times in the league, scoring 10 goals, been on loan at Vitória Guimarães and Maritimo, but mainly the last couple of years at Sporting. So obviously does have ability, but this is probably a real sort of rough diamond of a player that we can see potential in. And is he another sort of, I guess, player that Unai Emery wants to bring something out of, like a Leon Bailey, where they've not necessarily got the finished article? They can be a bit raw, they can be a bit temperamental, but if you can get them playing, if you can get them doing as you want them to do and working backwards as well as beating the man. We didn't see Leon Bailey beat his man or trust in his body enough to use that speed that he's got, to use that creativity that he's got enough last season, and it potentially looking like he's on his way out. So could this player, Gini Katamo, be the player to come in. Operates on the right wing and midfield as well. 24 years of age, as I say, plays for Sporting, can play down that right-hand side, plays down the left-hand side as well. Started 20 games in having 30 appearances, scored 5 goals last season, missed 3 big chances. 1 from outside the box, 4 from inside the box, 4 with his left foot, 1 with his right foot, 2 assists, 7 big chances created. So not great numbers, not huge numbers, but also not used as much as maybe he would have liked, I would imagine. But they're talking about 30 million euros for this player. So is there a lot of potential there? Has he missed quite a bit of season with injury? I'll be interested to know if anyone knows in the comments. 83% in terms of passing accuracy, 90% in his own half and 74% in the opposition half. 3.5 ball recoveries per game. So that does indicate, I guess, some working hard and working back. 50% total duels won, 52% ground duels won. So quite a strong player, quite a good tackler. I guess that indicates him playing in the more in a midfield role as well as a wing role. So can do that defensive duty as well. So maybe that's something that's been leveled at Leon Bailey at times. He doesn't quite have the same enthusiasm for defending as he does for going forward. So maybe someone like Katamo could offer that option. And we know we've got Marlon as well. Maybe we need 2 players. Well, we certainly do need 2 players to compete for that position, particularly if we have an injury or loss of form. So be interesting to see if that one comes off. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, because there has been reports that we are in talks with him, and 30 million euros, I guess 25 million pounds. Does that sort of the sale of a Leon Bailey to the Saudi League, will that be offset with bringing someone like Katamo in? And I guess it will be a structured deal and all that sort of situation as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, a couple of these players next have been linked to Aston Villa in the past, and Kang-In is of PSG. Really skillful player, I think really highly rated by Unai Emery, and he was linked last season with Aston Villa, has been linked in January windows as well, and currently plays for PSG, as I say, since 2023, appeared 53 times in the league, scoring 9 goals. Before that was at Real Mallorca, 7 goals in 66 appearances. Valencia as well, 2 goals in 44 appearances. Has played for South Korea from under 20s, under 23s, and the full national team. 36 caps for South Korea, scoring 10 goals. Now, he's incredibly highly rated, and I think he's wanted by numerous clubs across Europe. So Aston Villa would face a battle to bring him in, and it looks like PSG or Lee Kang-In's agents are doing the hard yards to put his name out there to see if anyone will take the bait and potentially start putting some bids in. Looks like PSG are willing to listen to offers and willing to let him go. So he's probably looking for, top clubs around Europe to play his trade. Only 24 years of age, central midfield, and can play on the right as well. Preferred foot is left foot, so cuts in, I would imagine. Passing, playmaking, long balls are his strength. And look at the rating, really good rating in the league for when he's played. Like I say, operates down that right-hand side, probably more of a tricky player, maybe not quite the pace of, say, a Leon Bailey, but certainly comes inside, technical ability on the ball, work extremely hard, started 19 times, having 30 appearances for PSG in the league, 6 goals, so not bad at goal return at all. We know some of the standard in that league isn't the greatest, though. 1 with the head, 3 with the left foot, 2 with the right foot, so both-footed, and can be a threat on goal. 6 assists and 16 big chances created. I mean, that is brilliant, whatever level of football you're playing at. 92% in terms of accurate passes, 95% in his own half, 85% in the opposition half, and 79% long ball accuracy, 80% in terms of accurate chip passes. So looking at that ability, looking at that technicality, that would be fantastic for Aston Villa to try and prize away from PSG or deal with the competition, go against the competition that I'm sure will be interested in him. I think Arsenal are interested, Newcastle, and various other teams across Europe. 2.4 ball recoveries per game, 60% in terms of successful dribbles, and 50% in terms of ground duels won. So at 24 years of age, you've got a real player there that you could develop and I guess even build the team around this. That looking at the statistics and looking at the pedigree, that would be a fantastic player to have at the club. So for me, if we could do anything with that deal, I would be all over it and 100% looking for it. Now, the next one is a striker, Youssef En-Nesyri. Now, really, really, really valuable player for any club who would be looking to sign him. Knows where the goal is, pure goal scorer, but also strong, holds the ball up, and would be a real foil for any striker or any player who would be playing off him for Aston Villa. And I've said this before, the era of the big striker is coming back. And we probably see a big man, little man combination coming up very soon. He's 28 years of age, so still at a good age. 34 appearances this season in the league for Fenerbahce, 20 goals. Sevilla, since 2020 to 2024, 143 league appearances, 51 goals. Leganés before that, 49 appearances, 13 goals. And for Morocco, 23 goals in 80 caps. So really does know where the goal is, a real striker. And if you look at his SOFA score stats, you'll see why, because he doesn't really do a huge amount elsewhere, but he comes alive in the box. I mean, the heat spots are the centre kick and in the box around the penalty spot. But that's what you want. That's what you need. Someone who comes alive in the box, someone can hold the ball up, someone who's strong, someone who can flick it on. Positioning seems to be his real strength. 22 starts in 34 appearances. 20 goals, as I said before, obviously not the greatest of leagues. 24 big chances missed. Now, as I keep saying, if you're annoyed with Ollie Watkins missing chances, 20 goals, but 24 big chances missed. I mean, that is incredible. But 10 headed goals, 7 left-footed, 3 right-footed, 2 penalties won, and 4 assists as well, and 6 big chances created. Now, it says that passing isn't one of his strengths. Now, it doesn't look like he passes it too much, but 80% in his own half and 66% in the opposition half isn't that bad, if I'm being honest. Doesn't do a huge amount in terms of work off the ball, in terms of defensively, but probably not expected to, but does win duels and isn't too bad at the aerial duels as well. So for me, I'll be really looking to get this deal done. But again, probably a player who is wanted by numerous clubs if he is available for transfer. But for me, I'll be certainly looking to get something like that done. Regardless of the future of Ollie Watkins, I think we need another striker. We need someone who has a European experience, can make an impact off the bench if he is going to be, say, a backup striker, but could also provide competition and also knows where the goal is. You look at the stats on SofaScore, doesn't start every game. So will come on and make an impact as well. So for me, I'll be looking to get that deal done if we could. Now, the Ollie Watkins news, we know that Arsenal were very, very, very interested, and according to reports, did actually put a bid in for him in January. But we have heard, and Justin Talks Villa from UTV fan channel and friend of the pod did put out a TikTok today saying that he has heard from a source that Ollie Watkins is apparently staying at Aston Villa and isn't going to leave this summer. Now, we know that many things can happen. A deal comes in that Aston Villa can't turn, a bid, comes in that Aston Villa can't turn down. But I can't see it. I can't see a team coming in and paying the asking price that Aston Villa would want for Ollie Watkins. I honestly think that he is staying. Now, he divides opinion. Are you happy that he's staying, or would you want to cash in on him and maybe go have a fresh start with another striker? Would you want to see us go a different way? We know that he hasn't necessarily reacted well to having competition. But would someone like En-Nesyri, who's a completely different striker, be someone who he could play off, or would be happy to maybe be the backup striker or play certain games when Ollie Watkins doesn't play and Ollie Watkins plays other games? Would we be looking at signing Marcus Rashford? And then would that really put the cat amongst the pigeons with Ollie Watkins? So there's still a lot of questions remaining unanswered, but I'm happy he would be staying. We look at the goals that he scored. Yes, we know he's frustrating. Yes, we know he misses big chances. Yes, we know he's had a frustrating season, and we've seen it with numerous players with Aston Villa. Certain moments they've been absolutely brilliant, but there's other moments where they've failed to deliver, and you can't just level that at Ollie Watkins, although he has been a big factor in those frustrations. But a full pre-season, time off after this international break, good 3 to 4 weeks of rest and recuperation, and then back into pre-season training. him saying that he's committing his future to Aston Villa, maybe that kind of makes it a bit more settled and he can really concentrate with his football. If we remember back to the pre-season last year, he came back up from the Euros off a fantastic moment where he scored the goal to take England to the final. But it was a frustrating Euros for him. And then he comes back. He has to come straight into almost pre-season after, a couple of weeks break, gets injured, and then he's never quite... He's always chasing his form back, chasing his fitness back. And he's had a season in and out with injury. He had the John Duran situation. He had the Marcus Rashford situation as well to deal with. So maybe a summer just of nice, calm, quiet, where we can focus on his football could be the real formula for Ollie Watkins to come back fresh and firing for next season. And we know how difficult it is to embed in new strikers into a club. And would we be prepared to do that? Is it better the devil you know in this situation for Aston Villa? And then maybe bring a younger striker in like Redmond who can learn off him. Bring an experienced striker like an En-Nesyri who can play second fiddle or could be the backup or a different option. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on Watkins. Would you be happy for him to stay, or would you still look to cash in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Youssef En-Nesyri, could he be an option up front? Would you be happy for him? Kang-In, could you see him coming into Aston Villa? Looking at those stats, he would be a fantastic technical footballer for Aston Villa. Katamo, could he be the answer, the replacement for Leon Bailey? Or could that be Jadon Sancho? Could his career be rescued by Unai Emery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, help us hit that big 6K number. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with another Transfer Talk special, I'm sure, because the rumours are flying in thick and fast. And we're also potentially going to do a live show on Sunday night, just talking over the last few weeks of Aston Villa and guessing, obviously, transfers will come into it as well, I'm sure. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.